Just drink. I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Film on Tap, where we've got the tap that never... What the fuck are you laughing at?
You turned it upside down. You did it.
I can hear your little freaking scoffs in the background. Anyway, as always, I am joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Nancy and Andres. How are you guys today? We'll start with you, Andres. You're awfully smiley.
Yeah, awfully smiley. But you know what? It's all good. Could it be the movie, or could it just be that I'm really happy to see my two buddies here on this wonderful Saturday afternoon in the East Coast, morning in the West Coast? Boom.
I'll go
Looks
with
like your
the
nose is a little brown there, my friend.
I'll go with the latter. I don't mind.
How about you, Nancy?
Yeah, today's good. Right after this, I'm heading back home. My family's having a huge party celebration thing for my grandparents' 75th wedding anniversary.
Wow, look at that.
So that'll be fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
How about you, Tom? How you doing?
I am tired. It's been a long but productive week, but I'm excited to I get to finally just like relax today. So I plan on doing very little, and it's going to be fantastic.
There you go.
All right. Well, as always, guys, we have a jam-packed episode. We've got a couple big trailers to talk about, and of course, we've got a big film to talk about in Supergirl. So we're going to jump right on in. Now, first and foremost, speaking of superhero movies, we got a brand new trailer for Spider-Man, Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man film that is hitting theaters at the end of July, which once again stars Tom Holland as Spider-Man. We got a huge peek at the movie now. This is our best look at the film yet. Are we excited for this movie? Are we still on the fence? Are we just against this film? Let's talk about it. Let's start with you, Nancy.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I think it looks really good. And I am excited for them to explore the fact that he's now morphing into a spider, I guess, is what they're going for, and getting those powers like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man that we had, where he's just able to shoot webs and whatnot. I don't know if this new trailer particularly adds anything for me. It's what I've seen before, and I don't think it adds excitement for me. But the good news is it's also not taking away anything for me in terms of wanting to see this movie. So I think overall, okay trailer, but I'm still excited to see it.
Okay, short, succinct. All right. Well, how about you, Andres?
As the person who has a Spider-Man mask over my shoulder right here, I'm always excited over the aspect of a new Spider-Man movie, but Dustin Daniel Krypton, I think, is probably the big X factor on this front, where I don't know why, but it feels so much more livelier than some of the other films previously. I love the aspect that they're going back to having a suit that's tactile and not have it be the CG mesh that looks unrealistic, and really embracing the fact that this is Spider-Man on his own without any Stark tech, and just having to fall back on only his wits, and having to fall back on the fact that he's the only one that can be Spider-Man. And I just love every single peek that we've gotten into this. I will say this trailer, again, I agree with Nancy, it doesn't move the needle for me one way or the other, but I will say the needle for me was already really excited going into this. So seeing the little bits of Scorpion here and there, and seeing some more of the fights, and seeing some more of the mutation aspect of everything. And then also, I am so fucking excited for the fact that we have a Savage Hulk again back in the MCU, because that's been kind of my biggest thing with the MCU version of the Hulk, is that they've kind of dumbed him down just a little bit. And I just love the aspect that he is going to be uncontrollable in this one, and possibly even a threat. So I'm really stoked for this movie. I already have my tickets July, cannot get here sooner. And that's all I have to say on that.
All right. Yeah, I cannot wait for this movie. As a gigantic Spider-Man fan, this is like the first, I would say, Tom Holland Spider-Man film that I'm like actively really looking forward to, where it looks so much better visually. Dustin Daniel Krypton doing the Lord's work here, just making it look like an actual film again. Like the John Watts ones for me, just like they just always look so flat. The action sequences just didn't have the snap that I think they really needed to. And I just feel like the visual style here is just so improved, and it just gets me so excited. And also the fact that we finally have Peter Parker not having some sort of mentor figure in this movie. Finally, just like let him be Peter Parker, let him be Spider-Man on his own. That's what makes the character so appealing, when he really just has to rely on his own skills and his own smarts to get things done and to save the city. I like the fact that even though there is a lot of special effects and whatnot in this trailer, it still does feel street level in a way that's really exciting for me, where you're fighting Scorpion, you have the Punisher in there. It feels a lot more grounded and tactile for me, which I'm really excited about. Seeing him go up against the Hand looks fantastic. The visuals just all around look so much fun. Seeing the Hulk do his Hulk clap, amazing. It's great to have Savage Hulk back. It looks so good. And Tom Holland especially just looks like he's having a blast. It kind of looks like he's doing like a hybrid of Toby and Andrew now. Like you could tell how those two like rubbed off on him, where he's doing like the little Garfield quips at the end of the trailer as he's stretching, or he's even kind of leaning into some Toby-isms, if you will, throughout this trailer. Like it's nice to see him like have his own identity, but also be informed by like his buddies that he's now made after the last film. So that was cool. But I can't wait for this movie. I think it looks like the best Holland Spider-Man film yet. And I'm just excited to see some more Spider-Man in the MCU. I think it's going to be a grand old time. So yeah, safe to say we are all excited for this one. But now shifting gears to a bizarre one, if I'm being honest. We got a trailer for a new film called The Social Reckoning, which is a follow-up. Yes, a follow-up to The Social Network, which is not only being written by Aaron Sorkin again, but is being directed by Aaron Sorkin this go around. And it stars, oh my God, I just forgot his name. Oh no.
Jeremy Allen White.
No, the other one.
Oh, is Zach?
No.
Yeah.
Jeremy Allen White's in it. And you also have, oh my God, I'm blanking on everyone's name today. She just won an Oscar.
Mikey Madison.
Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God. Talk about a brain fart. Oh my God. And then who's playing Zuckerberg?
I got you.
Oh my God, guys.
It is
Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong. I knew it was a Jeremy. Oh my God. Wow. I blanked on all three.
We
Holy
got there.
shit.
We got there.
Thanks, guys. So it stars Jeremy Strong, Jeremy Allen White, Mikey Madison. We got our first big peek at the trailer here for the film, which I think hits theaters this fall. What do we think about this? Do we want this? Do we need this? Let's start with you, Nancy.
Yeah, I feel like someone has it out for Mark Zuckerberg in terms of like, I'm going to make these movies and expose him. Yeah, definitely not one I wanted or really needed. But again, I think it is interesting that they are kind of following this story of, social networking and social media in general. We've got the first story where we see how Facebook has come about, and then now we're seeing the impact of that and these real life, consequences, I guess you could say, in terms of having this. Really, this was the first social media platform that opened up social media on a bigger scale, and seeing those consequences of just having so much information at your fingertips. And what I think was really interesting in the trailer is him saying something along the lines of, yeah, I'm basically giving people platforms so that they can tell the truth and not just like believe everything that the media is telling you, but also I'm not stopping people from lying, and that's not my fault. And so it's an interesting concept for a movie that, I definitely was not expecting it, but I like that we are delving into those topics. And I'm also glad that we're seeing Mikey Madison back, because I honestly thought after Honora, it felt like she was very easily going to be just kind of swept under the rug after that and not really given any other roles. So it's nice to see her back in this. So yeah, I can't say I'm excited for this movie, but it's definitely intriguing.
Okay. How about you, Andres?
Yeah, as someone who really, when The Social Network first came out, I thought it was, let's be frank, I thought it was the dumbest idea. But you have the X factors of David Fincher and frickin' Aaron Sorkin writing the script and directing, flip those around. But literally just, I was not prepared for how good that movie was going to be and how much they had to say and how fast and how informative that dialogue is. I mean, Sorkin's writing is almost unmatched, even still to this day. But yeah, but the aspect of doing a follow-up to a movie that good, I will admit I don't know if I really necessarily wanted it. And then the more you start thinking about it and the more you start hearing the story that Sorkin really wants to tell with this, as Nancy definitely said, it's a story about, you let the genie out of the bottle and now this is the ramifications of everything that's coming about. And with some of the stuff that I've heard is being shot for this in particular, I'm really curious to see what Sorkin is going to tell with this story about the whistleblower from Facebook and just how the repercussions of someone not checking in terms of what is the truth and what is not the truth and how that can blow up really badly in your face. Especially with what I heard the climax of this movie is. I am very curious. And also Sorkin, I have a lot of faith in Sorkin. I think he's going to be different enough from Fincher, where Fincher is very cold and calculated in terms of all of his shot composition, in terms of his execution. But Sorkin is a very workman director, and I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just very more straightforward. But you look at stuff like Molly's Game, you look at Trial of the Chicago 7, all really great movies and all really great written, but it's going to be that question of, can he make something compelling that's on the level of The Social Network? And so far from what I've seen, the acting is fantastic all the way through. I mean, Jeremy Strong is freaking Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, oh my God, he really nailed the cadences of that. While I'm sad that Jesse Eisenberg didn't come back, I think this is another great way of showing that evolution of that character into now as well. And then also just Mikey Madison and Jeremy Allen White in terms of what they're bringing in terms of the people that they're portraying as well. And also just really showing how much of a deep hole all these characters are in, trying to go up against a massive conglomerate like Facebook. Like, my favorite line in the trailer is the guy working for Facebook is like, oh, we don't answer to the government. We're post-government. And then Jeremy Allen White heads up over. He's like, can I just please quote you on that? Because that is terrifying for someone to say that. And yeah, no, I'm really stoked for this. I think there's a good chance it could go either way, but with Sorkin writing it and him directing it, I think there's a good chance it's going to be an enjoyable one. But is it going to be something that's going to be on the level of The Social Network? We don't know, but I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. That's all I will say.
Did Jesse Eisenberg decline, or
yeah.
did he?
Yes.
Apparently, Aaron Sorkin tried really hard to get him back, but Jesse Eisenberg, he thinks he's like too synonymous with Zuckerberg, so he's trying to like space himself out from the character.
There's a reason why he is, though, because he does such a good job of it, and it looks like him.
Yeah, he did a great job, and he mentioned the fact that he's so sick of all the people that come up to him in airports with business cards that say "I'm CEO, bitch," and he's like, "Yeah, that was 12 years ago. He's kind of done with this now." Oh, actually, not even 12, 16 years ago. So there you go.
Yeah, I wish he would have come back. Also, too, like thinking about, I don't know if you guys still have Facebook. I do, just to like maintain, with relatives and update on birthdays and stuff. But yeah, no, definitely some of the stuff I see on there, I was like, this is just like flat out raw, like a lie. Like,
yeah.
I'll see like articles, they'll say like Max Crosby had like a third baby that they weren't telling anyone about. And it's like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
How can you just post shit like that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, here's the thing about this movie is that I don't need it at all. And I feel like it's very unnecessary. Obviously, I am willing to give Aaron Sorkin the benefit of the doubt because he's such a talented writer. And I can't wait to hear that Aaron Sorkin dialogue again. But you can't deny that the Fincher touch that's not here is very palpable. It's just,
yes.
It's the kindest thing I could say about how this movie looks is that it looks like an SNL skit. It's just visually, it's such a significant step down where it actually like is distracting as I'm watching the trailer, where even like Jeremy Strong, as strong as his performance looks, it kind of looks like he's in an SNL skit. Like, it kind of made me like unintentionally laugh a little bit, where it just like, it's hard for me to like take the story seriously because it just kind of looks flat in a way. And it just, I don't know. If someone even did on Twitter, I saw it, they did a whole recolor grade of the trailer as if it was a David Fincher film, and oh my God, did it look so much better. Like, it just looked significantly better. I'm hoping that doesn't become a distraction while I'm watching the movie, and that the performances and the writing can do some heavy lifting. But I've never really been a huge fan of Sorkin as a director. I always feel like he shined far better as a writer. I just feel like style-wise as a director, he hasn't really found his like voice. And I feel like it's just like Andre said, he's kind of like a workman-like director where he's just getting the job done. And I feel like he could do more. So I'm hoping that maybe there's some more touches that he adds to this one. But yeah, visually, definitely a little bit disappointed. But I think this one has me intrigued more than anything else. Just, will it be able to justify its existence? Is this a story worth telling? Is this a follow-up we really need? Like, it's kind of like the Toy Story 3 to Toy Story 4 kind of thing. Like prove your worth. You know, like, why are you here? So like, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm definitely intrigued, to say the least. But anyway, talking about some intriguing topics, we're going to be talking about our big movie of the week, and that is Supergirl, which just hit theaters this past week, and the big DC movie that stars Millie Alcock as Supergirl. This is the follow-up to James Gunn's Superman. So a lot of interesting discussions have happened around this movie, which honestly was pretty expected. So there's been a lot of varied opinions about the film. So we're going to be diving deep into this film. So there's going to be some spoiler-filled thoughts. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to stop listening to or watching this episode. Come on back if you end up seeing the film. But if you don't care about being spoiled, then continue to watch, continue to listen. So we're going to be giving our general thoughts first, and then we'll dive into some more spoiler-filled territory. So let's start with you, Andres. What were your expectations going into this one? Your general thoughts? Hit us with it.
Also, I love how you said spoilered.
Sure.
Spoilered thoughts.
The new word now.
We got there.
Well, out of all this, I think I was the most excited for this because I love the Superman universe, but also more than anything, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is probably in my top 10 favorite comics of the past just ever. It is such a great story about grief and trauma and about how these two are radically different from each other. I'm talking about Kara and Kara. Oh my God. Kal-El. Oh my God. I was like,
I wrote before you.
The brain parts are hitting all of us.
She gave you Superman War?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was like, what? I kept saying Jor-El, Zor-El, Lara-El.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Hold on. I don't know if you hear that or feel that, but I think the ground is shaking.
Oh my God. but showing the difference between Superman and Supergirl, especially in that comic, and showing exactly what makes her special in this pantheon and what truly makes her unique in the DC universe. And it is one of those stories where if someone hasn't read that comic, I can't recommend it enough. It is such a great book. And even seeing the movie, even if you loved the movie or if you hated it or if you're right in between, I think that comic still stands on its own as sort of like a director's cut version of everything that you probably wanted from the movie. However, going into this, the online discourse is so weird on this movie. It feels like you either like it or you fucking hate it, and there's no in between on that. And personally, for me, as somebody who was really looking forward to Millie Alcock's performance as Kara, and then also Jason Momoa as Lobo as well, like there's so many great ingredients in this movie, and I was walking into it really hyped and really ready to be pleasantly surprised. And I will say, at the end of the day, I came out of it, and it's just a very middle of the road superhero movie for me. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing either. I think the online word of mouth on it is just not doing any favors for it. There's so many positive aspects that I love in this movie. Like Millie Alcock right off the bat is Kara. She is perfect. And I think sort of like all the off-world alien stuff is really great as well. And just the Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with this Mad Max tone, I feel was very, very awesome played in this. But I will say, in a whole bunch of those positives, there come a whole lot of negatives for me in terms of just story choices and in terms of differences from the comic that I kind of feel kind of really hurt my perception of the film to a certain extent. And at the end of the day, I think it's a good movie, whereas all the ingredients that were there could have been a great movie, even more so. So honestly, at the end of the day, a tad bit of a letdown, but it's not as big of a disaster as the critics online are making it out to be. So I really enjoyed so many aspects of this movie as a comic fan, and I'll be happy more to talk about it during spoilers. But again, good movie, a little bit of a letdown.
All right. Nancy, how are we feeling?
A middle of the road superhero movie is bad. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, you say it's not good, it's not bad. It's not good. It is in fact bad. You do have all the ingredients to make a really great movie and you fumbled the ball. Like, that's what it feels like. There was really nothing exciting about this movie. It felt that they were trying to get me to feel, all these emotions, and it just wasn't working. I felt like I was more sad about Crypto getting shot with a dart than, Kara was. It just wasn't landing. And I don't know what happened, because they had everything there and it just didn't pan out. Is it a bad, horrible movie? No, but I think that in itself is saying a lot, because you had so much material there to work with. It was fine. That's what I came out of the movie thinking. Honestly, I'm forgetting her name now, but Kara, I didn't really enjoy her performance till the very end of it. And then I also feel like they were trying to get this redemption arc for her going, that it didn't feel really earned. There wasn't really anything there that led to that. Yeah, I don't know. I came out of it. This was fine. It was generically fine. That's all.
Generically fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely excited headed into the movie because I really love James Gunn's Superman, and I loved the little brief appearance from Alcock as Supergirl in that film, and I was very interested to see what her story was going to be like. But I will say this. I think that this movie is enjoyable. I definitely don't think it's like a phenomenal thing. I don't think it's this awful disaster that seemingly every critic is putting out on the internet lately, just trying to derail this movie. I just feel like, yes, there is definitely a lot of wasted potential here, but I do think I was entertained for a good majority of it. There are things I did really enjoy about it. I think Alcock's a fantastic Supergirl. I really enjoyed her performance. I really liked the depth that they gave her, especially in terms of the flashbacks that they show in this movie, which we'll get into, which I thought were fantastic. Jason Momoa as Lobo, he is just having the time of his life, and I hope that he enjoyed every bit of it, because you could tell he was just relishing every moment playing that character, and that was great to see. And I enjoyed some aspects of the story, but there are definitely some big problems that held this one back for me. And at the end of the day, it's like, I think it's enjoyable, but I know that it definitely could have been a lot better. So it definitely feels middle of the road, but I feel like I might have enjoyed it just a smidge more than you guys, where I definitely got some entertainment value out of it. And I definitely want to see more of this character. I'm still excited for, Man of Tomorrow, and to see more of this extended universe that Gunn has started to create, because it's just exciting to see, all these developments actually start to happen, following through on your word of like, yes, we're getting all this Superman content and Supergirl content in such a short period of time, which is fantastic. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's enjoyable, but it could have been, I think, really great. And the pieces were there. We just didn't put them all together in the right way. So now, with that being said, we can head into some spoiler territory. So I guess we'll start with the things that we did actually enjoy first and foremost. Then we can head into some flaws that we might have had with the film. So let's start with you, Nancy. What were some things that you actually really enjoyed about this movie, if you can search your heart?
I liked Crypto. He was cute.
Especially when he was just sitting there breathing for the rest of the movie.
When he was a puppy, that was also cute. No, I do think I enjoyed the flashbacks. I did get distracted because I was like, is that Bernard? David Krumholtz. Yeah. And so I did miss some of the dialogue because I got distracted because I didn't know he was in this. So I think he did a really good job. I think those flashbacks were done well. But again, I don't know. Just for me, it felt like we're like almost there with making me feel something, and then it just kind of fell short for some reason. But yeah, I would say those are probably my favorite parts, was when they're showing the planet and all of that.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the positive aspects all the way through is that they do show that Kara is a very capable person with or without the Yellow Sun abilities. Like the opening scene at the bar, I felt was a really great way of establishing that, listen, even though she's not fully powered, she's still gonna get out there and she's still gonna kick ass. And I still bought how exactly they got down with that. But it was funny seeing how her and Krypto kind of work together in that aspect, and I thought that was a really great capper to that scene.
Really good crapper.
Crapper. I said capper.
Yeah, sure you did.
Yeah, no, but I felt like that was a really great way of introducing the two and really showing that this character is kind of in a very low point where he almost kind of feels like half a mess, and then also just kind of. Is it kind of a suicide mission at the end of the day? Maybe, who knows? But, like you said as well, too, all those flashback scenes with Kara and her father, I felt were some of the stronger elements of the movie in terms of showing us a Krypton that is much more paternal and much more loving, as opposed to, my least favorite part about the last movie was what's his name, Bradley Cooper's Jor-El, which kind of felt like it was like, oh, he didn't send Cal to Earth to basically because he loved his son. He was just basically just like, yeah, I want you to pass on the Kryptonian genes and take over that planet because Earth is kind of weak. And I'm like, yeah, they definitely didn't make things even better for people who had a problem with that in the last film. They doubled down. They doubled down. They were like, yeah, Jor-El actually sent off his kid without telling his brother. And then also on top of that, his brother just went, all right, I'm sealing myself off. I ain't telling you shit, Jor-El. Like, yeah, I like, again, they doubled down.
Poisoned everyone. Whoops.
Yeah. Oh, in the Kryptonian poison. Yeah, of course. But yeah, so those elements I thought were really cool. I really also really felt that the, going on more of the action scenes, I thought they were very well choreographed. And I thought they were really well thought out in terms of just, in terms of adding that spectacle element for the film as well. However, I will say, I mean, you know what? Before we get to the negatives, this is probably my biggest negative, and we'll talk more about it. The editing is so janky in this movie. It is probably the most jankiest cuts I've seen in a superhero movie for since Madam Web, and that's not a good comparison.
Wow. Whoa. Okay, that is not a movie I expected to enter this conversation. Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of all the positive elements, oh god, I really loved Corin Sweat's appearance in the film as well, and it really does prove that Corin Sweat is a generational casting with Superman, and he's just so perfect in the role. And again, and also, I know a lot of people are kind of bagging on the actress who played Ruth, but I thought she did a good job in terms of showing us the dichotomy between Kara and her. But I think the big flaw with the movie comes with their portrayal in terms of where Kara is emotionally in that point and where Ruth is, where Kara is going, revenge is not anything that's going to make you feel better. And it's like, but you are kind of like in the same place, so it's kind of weird for both of them to kind of.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, you're giving her this advice that you're not taking, but I guess it's like a do as I say, not as I do situation. Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, I thought the actress that played Ruth was fine. She very. Yeah. I don't know what they're saying online, but she very much felt like a little kid, and I feel like that's what she's supposed to, right? Her family just got murdered in front of her, so sure. Also was not expecting the brother to randomly get murdered like that. And I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Worst hide and seek game ever.
Right? But also, you saw what was happening. You couldn't give your brother a heads up, like, hey, there's some bad guys here. I mean, really, maybe, his blood is on her hands. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay, that's certainly a take.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think. I mean, I enjoyed the action sequences too. I actually like the fact that they made Kara's fight style very different from Clark's, where she definitely is someone who doesn't really hold back her punches. She's a little bit more visceral. She's a little bit more nasty, and I kind of like that because it kind of adds to her character, gives her more personality, and I enjoyed that a lot. I think the dynamic between her and Ruth was really interesting because at first I didn't really like Ruth as a character. Nothing to do with the actress, just the way the character was written was just very one note and a little bit bland. But I think as the film went on and the relationship started to develop and they started to kind of open up to one another, I enjoyed that because it helped flesh them both out. And I think that by the end, I did really enjoy their relationship and thought it was fun. Crypto will always be an MVP. I die for Crypto. I also think Corn Sweat popping up, just another reminder, he's such a pitch perfect Superman. I think they used him really well. He didn't like overstay his welcome or anything. And I also think, the flashbacks with him meeting Kara and kind of introducing her to Earth and whatnot, I thought was like really cool. And I love their dynamic. And like visually, I have to say the production design and the makeup especially was incredible in this movie. I feel like no one's really talking about how good the makeup effects are in this film. Like anytime, especially that sequence like where they're inside that like bus or whatever it happens to be, and you're getting a glimpse of all these different creatures, just like the makeup work is just like an unsung hero in this movie. And I have to say, like, that really impressed me and really helped make this world feel immersive and grounded. So that was really cool. And I feel like for the most parts, like I really enjoyed Kara's journey from being kind of this like hapless, nihilistic superhero to being someone who actually like she's someone who is trying to find hope so that she can be like a symbol of it. So I thought it was an enjoyable journey, and I thought, for me at least, it did feel earned by the end. And I didn't have a problem with her killing the guy at the end. I was very curious to see when people. Like, honestly, I was like, yeah, like I don't have a problem with this. And I even like looked it up. I'm like, she's killed people before in the comics and stuff like that. So like, I was like, I saw that happen, and I like collectively looked around. I'm like, where are the fanboys about to throw a fit? Which is like, it's gonna be a Man of Steel situation all over again. But thankfully, it hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and that's also the point too with Kara, is that she is not Clark. Clark sees the good in people, as she says in the movie. Clark sees the good in people. I see the truth, and I'm like, yep, that's a great delineation between those two characters. And but I will say, oh man, like this is one of those things where in the comic, it's such a radically different arc for that character, because Kara in the comic doesn't really change all that much. She is more of the mentor to Ruth, who is on this mission of revenge. And with the one delineation in the comic where it is made clear, at least in the very beginning, Krypto is dead. Like there is no poison dart.
They wouldn't do that.
But here's the thing. They make it clear in the very beginning that Krypto is dead, and that there's nothing Supergirl can do about it. And then Supergirl has that element where she's like, she has every right to take revenge against Krem, of course. But for some reason, Kara is not going down that road. She's just going, I'm going to help you look for this person to basically bring him to justice, but we cannot kill him, because out of everybody, I should want to kill him. But I know once I go down that road, that is a slippery slope that you will never come out of. And that was sort of the point to that character in the comic that I kind of feel, by sort of adding the element that there is a ticking time bomb on this, where there's a chance it could save Krypto. I felt like that was a different thing to do with Kara that didn't necessarily make Ruth that better of a character or give them a contrast in terms of where they are in their emotional arc in the movie. So that is probably one thing that I kind of disagreed with their interpretation and how the script was structured. But again, it's such a better thing in the comic, not because it's like, oh, they have more to do in the comic, but it's such a well-told story that felt like a weird choice to not adapt into live action, way it could have so easily have been done. Like, I kind of felt like all the choices that were done were just choices that were done to make it different. And I'm like, it's not that strong of a choice, I think.
I disagree. I feel like they would riot if
no,
one if Krypto died.
Sorry. And to clear up, you find out at the end that Krypto is alive. Like Kara went into this emotionally thinking that Krypto was dead. So she had a stake in that to basically be like, okay, well, I don't want to get revenge. So yeah, anyway.
Well, I feel like go Nancy.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I feel like also that wouldn't make sense to me, because then it's like she randomly, because we see her like broken essentially and like trying to find her way, and that wouldn't make sense for her to be like, well, you shouldn't kill him just because it's not good, and I don't want to kill him, I don't want revenge just because. Whereas like this at least gave her like, no, I need that antidote, like, and you shouldn't do this, but more so I need this antidote. So like, let me handle this. I don't know. I feel like it makes more sense this way for a movie, at least. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like the main reason why they might have made that change, I think there's two reasons, frankly. One, if they actually adapted that full on, they're way too similar to John Wick because you're literally
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
You're
Yeah.
literally killing a dog and then you're getting revenge. It's John Wick. Obviously, the comic probably came before the movie. Doesn't matter to general audiences. They're just going to say, oh, so this is like a superhero John Wick. Got it. Second of all, people are not going to see a movie if they know the dog's dead, even if it's revealed at the end that he's alive. Every time a trailer for a movie that comes out with a dog is in it, the first comment is, does the dog live? And a lot of the times now they have to say before the movie comes out, the dog lives, so people will actually see the movie.
Please go watch it. Yeah.
Hello, good boy.
So honestly, I think it was for the best that they actually chose this route. And I actually enjoyed that because in a way, it's like it's giving Kara hope. And it's kind of like reminding her what that feels like to have hope for something that you love and stuff like that. I actually thought it worked better for her character. But yeah, if like they killed off Krypto and then she was just off like trying to get revenge, like, yeah, I would just be like, okay, this is just a superhero version of John Wick that isn't as enjoyable. So like, it's just, I don't know. I understand the change personally.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, again, keep in mind, there's a lot of blanks that I'm not filling in right now, just for the sake of anybody who has not read the comic as well. So there you go.
No,
Gotcha. Well, speaking of the person they're getting revenge on, fuck this villain.
You
Just
reminded me of
talk about a
someone that
bland villain. Oh my lord!
You reminded me of. It was like an orc, but like not. I don't know.
I don't know. They were trying to make him something, and it's just such an over the top, like, I don't know, mugging for the camera performance, and then the character is just so underwritten and one dimensional. It's just like no. I felt like it kind of just dragged the movie down personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's probably one of the most blandest villains I've seen in quite a while. Not necessarily from the performance, but more just from the writing, and just you don't feel the threat. You kind of feel that this is just another goon, for lack of a better word. And to a certain extent, that's what Krem is. But at the same time, every movie, you're only as good as your antagonist. And I felt that for this one, there was just nothing special about him. He was just overplaying to the camera at certain points. And then it was just like, they tried to insert little moments of humor here and there, but it just didn't work. And then the aspect of that, oh, I've had Kryptonian arrows for a while and I never got to test them out until now. Why would you have that? Like, I don't know. I just felt that was stupid. for a planet that's extinct, like, yeah, it's, I don't know. There's just so many questions that I have about why they went down the road that they did. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's also been confirmed that there was a cut that was 2 hours and 20 of this movie. And I feel like that's way too long, but I can probably say that maybe a lot of character stuff went away in that, and that's kind of what I was missing. But yeah, it's God, such a nothing villain.
No, they literally revealed what the rest of his arc was going to be, and it was dark, to say the least.
Yeah. We couldn't have one female-led superhero movie without just some human trafficking thing in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I just feel like that's such a cliche by this point now.
I was gonna say I was very surprised. I was like, oh, okay, did not have sex trafficking on my bingo card for this movie. Did not see that coming. Interesting route to go.
Yeah, that's where the Mad Max comparisons come in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, didn't really make sense when he's like, bring me the daughter or whatever, and they start cutting down all the ships, and they're like, oh no, they're getting away. It's like, but you did that. Wasn't that the point? Like, I don't understand. So I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of little things like that in this movie where it's like, it didn't quite make sense, but sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like the two comparisons that everyone's making with this movie are Guardians of the Galaxy and Mad Max. And I feel like it's way more, I would say, in terms of tone, Mad Max than I would say Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like, but like, honestly, I feel like it's also pretty dissimilar to both. Like, I feel like it's not really one or the other. I definitely don't really get a Guardians vibe too much. Like, visually, there's some similarities, but
the
I think
visual
tonally,
elements,
it's definitely more Mad Max.
I was going to say visually, definitely Guardians. Even when the trailer came out, I was like, this feels like a Guardians movie, the way it looks. And honestly, I wish they would have gotten away from that a little bit more. It felt like they were trying to go for that. And I just, like, visually, we've seen this. I want something new. But yeah, story-wise, no, definitely not close to either of those movies.
No, and also the movie tries its damnedest to do its Guardians of the Galaxy impersonation from a tone wise, from the aspect of the soundtrack, which I liked the soundtrack. I liked the needle drops that they had throughout the entire movie until it got to the very last one.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, that last one dropped the score for me.
What was the last one? I forgot.
It was a cover of
Jimmy World.
That's
Jimmy
of
World.
the middle, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
Which
that was
great song.
Great song.
That
I love
cover,
the song, but
not there.
Yeah, hated the cover, hated the placement. It undercut everything. It felt like
it reminded
that
me
was,
of the Flash. Unfortunately, I was like,
yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where I know for a fact that they went through 5 different composers for this movie, and they just couldn't get the score right. And I have a feeling that some of those needle drops were there to cover up the fact that, we don't have a score for this moment here and there. So yeah. And that moment should have been like, for me, it's the equivalent of dropping the ball of like, let's say, let's say fucking for, Wonder Woman 1, for the No Man's Land scene, instead of that awesome Hans Zimmer score, we just put in I Need a Hero or fucking just some stupid shit from the 80s.
I don't want to see that now.
It just reminds me of Shrek.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Always.
But it's one of those things where people really underestimate the importance of a good score in a good moment where you place a needle drop. And it's so shocking with Craig Gillespie. His needle drops in all his other movies, like I, Tonya, Dumb Money, and even Cruella, I felt were all fantastic. And this, to me, felt like he was trying his hardest to be James Gunn, and it did not work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't mind his direction this one. I mean, I think he handled the visual as well. I felt like he handled the tone well for the most part. And I feel like he definitely brought like an energy I think this movie needed. But I do wish that it kind of like strayed, like Nancy said, a little bit further away from like the Guardians of the Galaxy aesthetic, to kind of carve its own identity a little bit. It just kind of felt like it was an amalgamation of a lot of other stuff. But at the end of the day, though, like, I don't know. It's just like when I think about this movie, it's like I just don't have the like level of issues with it, I think, as other people do. It's like, I understand it's not a great film by any stretch. It's definitely not a horrible film, but like, I feel like I definitely enjoyed it more than most out there. Like, I had fun with this movie. I feel like people hear the word fun, and for them, that is like synonymous with a movie being bad. But like, a movie can be fun and flawed. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, you can enjoy a movie that has problems. So for me, it's like, I had fun with this movie. It's not a movie I'm going to rush to go see again. I think Superman is a far stronger film, but I definitely want to see a lot more of this character. And I especially want to see more of the Clark Kara dynamic, because I think they're a great contrast to one another and I love their chemistry. So I'm looking forward to the future of the DCU. Like, that's the thing that this movie does, is that even though it's not perfect by any stretch, I think it still makes the prospect of future installments in this universe exciting. It's just like, I like to see like where we're headed. I like these characters that we're introducing. I want to see more of them, and I want to see what they're cooking up. So I'm still excited.
Yeah, for me, the comparison that I gave for this movie is people are like, "Oh, is it a disaster?" And I'm like, "No." For me, it feels very much like the Iron Man 2 of this DC universe. They introduce a lot of characters. There's a lot of promise, but did it all come together in the story? No. Some of the stuff gets buried underneath a lot of generic stuff, but that's not the fault of Millie Alcock, and that's not the fault of necessarily the director. It's more of just the fact of what they chose to tell story-wise in this. They kind of felt overstuffed, and it kind of felt like they definitely did lose a lot of elements in recutting this movie from 2 hours and 20 down to an hour and 47. So yeah, it's not perfect, but I would absolutely recommend my brother-in-law to take his niece to go see this movie. It's like, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a fun movie, but it's not going to be something that blows people away as I hoped it would. But, it's still a fun time. Absolutely.
Wow, Nancy's just dead silent. Also, like, just putting this out in the world, can we please just have a superhero film that has like decent humor? I don't know.
We used to get those.
There's just something about humor in superhero films nowadays. And I'm not speaking for all of superhero films. There are some that do have some good humor in there, but it just seems so like lazy now. Like it seems so
It feels
cliche.
weirdly like they're trying too hard and at the same time not. Like they're trying to get a laugh really hard, like
I don't know.
constantly. And it's
Yeah.
very
You gotta-
like basic jokes that like a sixth grader would make. And
you
that's
gotta-
I don't know if that's their audience
No,
now.
no, no.
Like let's make the
I don't know.
little kids laugh, but it's
like,
not working.
It can be
I
better.
think-
It's not working.
I think Joss Whedon broke the. I think what he did on that first Avengers movie kind of did. People took the wrong elements from that movie and they started adding so much more humor. But I think that's also just been a problem in superhero movies to begin with. I mean, there's even like in The Dark Knight, there are certain moments where I'm like, this moment of humor doesn't really work, and it's always been an issue.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like Lobo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't add anything. His like the lines that were supposed to be funny weren't funny. That is the one character I will say I did not like the makeup on. It just felt like Jason Momoa doing Jason Momoa things and like not really adding to the movie so much. So yeah, and that's what I think of in terms of like that humor falling flat. It's like these one-liners that aren't very funny, and it feels like he was put in there to be that comedic relief, and it didn't work. And it's like they kept trying to feed him those lines, and just no.
I will say I enjoyed Momoa's performance as Lobo, but when it all comes down to it, I think they could have literally cut him out of the movie and it wouldn't have affected anything at all. And that to me is a big problem with what the story structure of this. If he's not going to add anything to Kara's journey or even Root's journey, and he's just kind of there, why is he there?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I wish that they could have added some sort of like depth to that character where it's not just like a guy who has like all these one-liners. Like, I'm sure there's rich lore having to do with Lobo and his character, which I'm sure they're hoping that maybe they do a spin-off movie. But given what's happening with this film and how it's not really tracking to be all that successful, you know, the likelihood of that happening is pretty low. But I feel like it's an intriguing character. But like Andre said, like you cut him out of the movie, shockingly, like it would probably still be fine. And that in and of itself is a problem. But anyway, is there anything else that you guys want to throw out there? Any other thoughts about the film that maybe we didn't get to yet?
I
think that was it.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really have much else to say about this one. I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, going down the list of everything I have, I'd be like, it's a lot more of. It feels like there's so many more missed opportunities in this movie than there are positives, but it's not, again, it's not necessarily to say it's a bad movie. It could have been much better. I was hoping for more, but
I feel like it's more of a letdown when, like, to compare it to football for all my football fans out there. Like, when you put together, when you put together a great team, you get an amazing quarterback, you do all the drafts right, you get like a good running back, you pull in like these big players from other teams, and you're like, all right, this is the recipe. And they shit the bed in the season, and you go 2 and like whatever, you only win 2 games. It's more of a letdown in that case than when you have an underdog team that's like, all right, we don't know where this is going to go, and they do decent even if they only win 5 games. You're like, that's pretty good for this team. So it just feels like it's almost more of a letdown, even though it wasn't that bad of a movie, because there were high expectations, and you know, they had all the pieces for a good outcome here, and just fell flat.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And this concludes our sports analogy segment of the show. But yeah, I mean, if you guys were to wrap up your thoughts and give it a rating, what would you give it?
I mean, again, it was fine. It wasn't bad. Usually on that route, I'll go 3 pints. I was debating between 2.5 and 3. I think if I had gone 2.5, I would have to, you know, it would be a movie that I probably would recommend someone not to see, or to like wait till it comes out. I think it's still worth going to see, so I'll give it a 3.
All right, 3. How about you, Andres?
Yeah. I think there was so much promise with this movie, and I think there are so many great ingredients in it. And for the most part, I think it does work in terms of giving us a Supergirl movie that, you know, like, this is bar none better than the Supergirl movie that came out back in the 80s with Helen Slater, for sure. And I think there's so much emotional depth in this movie that they only are getting to the surface elements of it. And I like again, it feels like I'm tearing this movie down, but it's one of those things where it's like there was a much better movie here. But for what we got, I had fun. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was a great time at the theater. I saw the movie in IMAX, and I did not regret my time seeing it at all. And I think it's a misstep for DC, but at the same time, does it totally derail at my excitement for certain things? No, I'm still looking forward to Clayface. I'm still looking forward to Lanterns. I'm still really looking forward to Man of Tomorrow, for sure. And I'm hoping that this movie is I'm hoping that this misstep is much more gonna lead to what a course correction is for Gunn's DC universe going forward. But for the movie that we have so far, it's enjoyable. It's a fun movie, but is it an amazing movie? Is it the big bold statement of a female-led superhero movie that we were hoping was going to be in the same way that Wonder Woman 1 was? No, it is not in that same realm at all, but it is still a very enjoyable movie, and I think Millie Alcock is still a great choice. But for the most part, I think it's just okay, and I wanted there to be a better movie. For me, ultimately, it went between, for me, a 3 and a 3.5, but ultimately there was a lot of stuff that I really did like about it, and I think I might give it one more chance. So I honestly, at the end of the day, in my heart, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 pints. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Andres in terms of the score. I'm definitely going to give this 3.5 out of 5 pints. I don't think it's a phenomenal film by any stretch. I feel like this film represents growing pains for this extended universe, where there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of good here. But you see those growing pains. Like, you see the weaknesses that are starting to come out here that we need to wheedle out, that we need to refine and get rid of. And that's okay. Like, every extended universe is going to be trying things out, see what works, what doesn't work. And unfortunately, Supergirl is like that second installment where, like, you're starting to see, okay, these are the things that don't work. These are the things that do work. And unfortunately, you have to see those, on the big screen in IMAX sometimes. But I do feel like those issues for me, they weren't nearly as weighted as they have been for other people, where I was still able to get a lot of enjoyment out of this movie. I really think Alcock is a fantastic Supergirl. And like I said, I'm really excited to see where her character goes next. And I had a good time watching this movie. And I feel like I said, when you just say, oh, it's fun, I had a good time, people are just like, oh, so you fucking hated it. It's just like, that's not at all what I'm saying. It's like, I can think a movie is okay, but still fun. So at the end of the day, it's a good movie in my opinion. I just don't think it's a great one by any stretch. So there you have it. So those are our opinions on Supergirl. Let us know what you thought of the film if you checked it out in the comments. Definitely let us know what you thought of the trailers as well for The Social Reckoning and for Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're definitely curious to hear your thoughts about those trailers as well. And before we head on out, where can the fine people find you guys on the interwebs? Andres, give us your scroll.
Yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram as Galaghost, and you can also find me editing Cinemojis for our friend David Joyan, and you can also find me editing for Film Speak as well too. I did just drop a massive James Bond First Light video as well, and also for anyone who hasn't played that game, go play that game. It is a masterpiece, and yeah, and then you can find me here, and there you go. All right, Nancy.
Find me over at PL_Band-Aid on Twitter and Instagram, on Letterboxd. I think that's NER86PL. I'll double check that in a second. And then, yeah, over on Cinemojis every once in a while, of course, here in the comments.
Very, very nice. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Chattelbash. You can find me on TikTok at Chattelbash Reviews. You can find me on YouTube at Tom Chattelbash, and you can also find me on Letterboxd at T Chattelbash. I feel like I repeated myself like 3 times. Who knows? I just, at this point, I'm lost in terms of my social media handles. But you can find me in those locations. And as always, thank you everyone for listening to this episode, watching it, whatever you happen to do. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to a brand new episode of Film on Tap, where we've got the tap that never runs out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.